So imagine this. Imagine waking up to your own private 10-acre homestead just outside Knoxville. You're watching the sunrise roll over the rolling hills, over our beautiful mountains. You got a cup of coffee in your hand, and the only traffic that you're worried about is a stubborn goat blocking the barn door. That's the dream, right? That's what we all want. But here's the reality check. East Tennessee isn't the hidden secret it was 5 years ago. If you want that lifestyle in 2026, you need to see exactly what it costs you before you make an offer on the wrong piece of dirt. Today, we're breaking down the Knoxville radius. We're looking at why 15 minutes of driving can save you thousands of dollars, which counties are still homestead friendly, and the hidden costs of turning raw Tennessee land into a functional farm of your dreams. So let's talk about the golden circle first. In 2026, Knox County is officially a hot zone. If you're looking to 5 to 10 acres within the Knoxville city limits or just outside them, say Powell or Halls or Carnes, prepare for sticker shock. Currently, usable residential land in Knox County is averaging anywhere from $15,000 for a piece of land that needs a lot of work to more than $35,000 per acre, depending on what you need to do with the property. Talking grading, utilities, if they're already there, if you need to bring them in, if it's already perked for a septic, things like that. If you can find 10 usable acres for less than $20,000 per acre in a prime Knoxville location, check for sinkholes or legal easements because that is a unicorn. So Knox County a little bit outside your budget now? Not a problem. The moment you cross the county line into places like Jefferson County, Union County, Anderson County, areas like that, your purchasing power increases significantly. For instance, in Union County, you can still find beautiful, rugged acreage regularly for under $8,000 an acre if you're willing to do some clearing. But there's going to be a trade-off. You're trading a 15-minute drive to Market Square for a date night out for a 45-minute haul on Highway 33. If you're working a 9 to 5 in the city, that can be up to 7.5 hours a week in the truck. You got to ask yourself, is the land you want worth the life hours it's going to require? So, where are the overlooked spots close to Knox County right now? Well, if I were looking for a homestead today, I'd be pointing my GPS towards Granger, Jefferson County, areas like that. For instance, Granger County is famous for its tomatoes, but it should be famous for its prices right now. It's one of the few places left within a 45-minute drive of Knoxville where you can still find parcels in a reasonable price range. Plus, the agricultural community there is massive. You'll have neighbors who actually know how to fix a tractor. Then let's talk about areas like Jefferson County. Everyone looks at the lakefront property in Dandridge, which is pricey. But if you look north towards Newmarket, you'll find rolling pasture land that's significantly cheaper than the tourist-heavy areas. Anderson County is another one. Most people think only of Oak Ridge with the labs and the plants. But if you head towards Rocky Top, towards Andersonville, areas like that, the terrain is going to get steeper, but the prices are going to drop. It's perfect for what they call vertical homesteading. Think goats and orchards rather than flat cattle pasture. So now why does this all matter? Because in 2026, homesteading is as much about the community as it is the soil. These counties I just mentioned normally have fewer restrictions than Knox County. Try to put a composting toilet or a tiny house guest cottage in some parts of Knox County, the zoning board's going to have a field day with you. In Union or Granger County, they're much more likely to leave you to your business. Now let's get into some of the hidden math or the hidden charges you're going to run into. Buying land is just the cover charge. To build a homestead in East Tennessee right now, you're going to look at a number of different sets of numbers. For instance, let's talk about site prep. East Tennessee is beautiful because we have ridges, hills, mountains. They're awesome to look at, awesome to live around. The problem is when you start to build, all that needs to be graded down in order to get a flat building site. You're also going to need things like septic if you don't have sewer, which a lot of these outlying areas don't. A standard system might cost $6,000 or $10,000, but if you've hit rock or you're having trouble with the perk test, you're looking at thousands more for a grinder pump. Another thing to talk about is wells. If you don't want city water and you want to actually have well water, drilling in the Tennessee Valley can be a gamble. You might hit water 150 feet or you might be at 400 feet. At $10,000 for a well, a cheap piece of land can get expensive fast if you don't find water. Let's talk about the housing that you're going to put on the land. In 2026, a mid-range custom home in the Knoxville area is running $200 to $300 per square foot, and that's already built. No hassle, you move in, you're good to go. Building a home like that on your homestead can run into a host of problems like finding a builder to drive 45 minutes each day without overcharging you, finding consistent subs to get out there and do the work you need, needing major grade work to get a level building site. In East Tennessee, it's common to have 5 acres, and the flattest part is where the house is built on. So that's a far cry from the cheap country living people talk about on TikTok. If these kind of situations scare you, your best bet is finding a fixer-upper farmhouse. There are still 1970s ranches own 5-acre lots in places like Seymour, Blaine, Jefferson County, Andersonville. They need work, but the infrastructure, the well, the septic, the driveway is already there. You move in, fix it up, make it your own, you're good to go. So right now, the Knoxville dream is still alive, but it's moving outward. If you want the 10-acre life, stop looking at Zillow in the city limits. Start looking at the 45-minute radius where the soil is rich, the taxes are lower, and the neighbors won't complain if your rooster starts his shift at 5 a.m. And he will. Homesteading isn't just about a purchase. It's a pivot in your lifestyle. Do the math on the commute. Check the soil for rock before you buy. And always, always budget 20% more for site prep than you think you need. So if you found this breakdown helpful, drop a comment below with land buyer, and I'll send you my Tennessee land buyers checklist. It covers the specific questions you need to ask about things like mineral rights, water rights, logging rights, greenbelt tax breaks. These questions can save you thousands, and you'll be ahead of the game. Thanks for watching. If you like this, please comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.